What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to another episode of Grow, Live, Dream. I'm your boy, LeVar Robinson, and this is my brother T. Hutton, the motivator over there looking mighty business like, man, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing today?
Man, absolutely amazing, man. It's been a long morning and afternoon, brother. I'm super excited about what we're going to talk about today, man. Have you stepped in it too, man? And I'm excited about it because we got so many people that have been going through things, man, and it just seems like things just continue popping up one thing after the other. How do we deal with it? How do we deal with it? But before we jump into that, man, how's your day been going? How was your weekend, man? I'm happy to be back. Another beautiful day topside.
Man, my day is going really good, going really, really good. Hey, I don't know if you out there, if you got you a Peloton, check us out. We on there 6 a.m. Central Time. Me and the guys started to do 30 for 30. We're going to be riding 30 minutes a day for the next 30 days, trying to get this body in shape, trying to get this life together, get this win up. But no, seriously, man, day's been going really good. Been a real productive day, and I've just been out here on the grind like you, man, trying to make it happen one day, one step at a time. So I'm ready for it, man. Have you stepped in something?
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So look, listen, for everybody that's watching, let's go ahead and do a little bit of house rules, right? Because you guys know that we're in this thing for you, right? We're in this thing for you. So make sure that you like, make sure that you comment, join in on the conversation. Make sure that you share this video, right? Because there's nothing better than having a support of those people who are watching that you put on for a day in and day out. But we're going to go ahead and start rocking this thing. So it's interesting. It's interesting. Yesterday, well, day before yesterday, I was driving the car, got home, got into my other car, my Ford, driving the Ford, get home with that. You know, I was cleaning my car out. I put my back seat down. I was in a rush. All right. I was in a rush, put my back seat down because me and the boys getting ready to go somewhere, but I was doing a little bit of cleaning. My back seat got stuck in the down position. All right. It got stuck in the down position. And I'm irritated. Listen, I'm so irritated at this particular moment, right? Because I'm already late. And I just had to figure it out. But what I realized is this, like sometimes things happen in the worst of moments, and what we have to do is just pivot. So I actually had to figure something out because I wasn't able to get that car seat up, T. Hutton. I wasn't able to get that car seat up. So I had to figure something else out, make it happen. And today, that was one of the things that I had to figure out. I ended up having to take the whole back seat, the whole bottom portion of the back seat out of the car, right, in order to take the seatbelt loose. Right, you know, we handyman, we can do all that good stuff like that, right? right. To take the whole back seat loose, right? I mean, not the back seat. Well, take the back seat out, the bottom portion, take the whole seat belt up in order to get the seat to go back up. I thought that was the craziest thing, right? But there's so many people that have things happen. They have them happen in the least of moments. My apologies. Let me mute that. In the least best moments. And we go crazy and we get so stuck in our crazy, so stuck in that situation in that moment that we can't even figure out which way to turn next. What is the next step? That way we can come back and figure that out later.
So, you know, it's funny when you say that to me. I listened to a song a while back. It was a mystical song. And he's talking about the house being on fire. And he comes outside, he busts out the door and he's outside. And he's like, I can't see, I'm blind. And then he says, no, I just had my eyes closed the whole time. I think that's what happened with a lot of people when they get in those moments, when they get those inopportune moments when things happen and they get blindsided by life, when you are already got your back against the wall, but then you look and the water is coming up and it's where's the water even coming from? Now I not only have I got my back against the wall, but now I'm fighting against drowning also. You know, and that's too oftentimes what happens because just because something is going on in one area of your life doesn't mean things are not going on in the other area of your life. And when they all start to come together, you start to feel like you're being closed in on. Now, what do you do in those moments? Are you panicking in those moments? LeVar, let me ask you. I know for a lot of people, the answer to that question is yes. If you're watching this and you found yourself panicking in those moments, put a 7 in the chat. But the fact of the matter is that we can't panic in those moments. LeVar, how do you think you keep yourself grounded when you find yourself in those moments when it look like the walls are closing in on you?
Well, here's the thing. You prepare for those moments before the moments come.
That's good.
Let me say that. You prepare for those moments before the moments come, right? What you tune into, right? You turn into, right? How you do everything is how you do everything, right? Those three things that I just said right now, all powerful, super, super, super powerful. So if we understand what we're doing in other areas of our life, if we understand that we're always preparing, right? We're always preparing so that we don't have to get ready, right? when things happen, right? Getting your mind together, right? Always working on your mindset. So with that being said, I already have a particular mindset to talk myself off the ledge once I get there. Because here's the thing. If you have to then take that time to get yourself together, you're spending too much time in a place that you don't need to spend that time at. You're irritated. You're irritated for the next hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. You just spiraled your whole day, just spiral out of control. Just spiraling out of control. And we just have to be careful and mindful of that, because that day spiraling out of control, typically what ends up happening with that T Hutton is that irritation you end up pushing into other people's lives as well. Now you got other people's lives spiraling out of control. So with that being said, prepare before the time even comes. You get ready before the time hits. How about yourself? Talk to me.
What I like to do is I've said it so many times before, is I just like to take a breath in the moment. Like I need to center myself and ground myself. In order to ground myself, I need that moment of clarity. So I literally just pause, survey, take in what's really going on, because oftentimes what's really going on seems worse than it really is.
Tell it, say it.
So when you actually take the moment to really take in what's going on in your life, oftentimes because of the energy or the lack of time or attention given to something, it seems bigger than it is. Like you get the flat tire while you're driving down the highway, and it's the flat tire ain't as bad if you wasn't running late to work. But the crazy part about it is oftentimes we knew that the thread was getting low on the tire, so we went preventive, as LeVar would say. But still, yes, it still happened. We had the flat tire and we were running late to work because we had left earlier. There's a lot of different things that we have to take and put in perspective. Is this our last time? Is this our first time being late to work? Because if it's our first time being late to work, we probably shouldn't panic as much as it is if we're on, that last warning. But I'm just being honest, like we have to put things in perspective. So I take that time to pause, put things in perspective. It's funny because we say, have you stepped in it too? When you were friends, you got kids, when you were young, you were out playing and stuff, and you'd be like, hey man, everybody check your shoes because you smelled something. And that's what happens, because in life, it happens. It happens. and when you get yourself out there, too oftentimes we think it's only us that is happening to. So we're panicking because everybody else is watching. When the fact of the matter is, they're checking their shoes just like you're checking your shoes.
So it's interesting when you look at the title. It says, "Have you stepped in it too?" So I want to break that down. Have you stepped in it too? That means you're not the only one that stepped in it. Have you stepped in it too? Right? That means you're not the only one that stepped in it. That means other people have stepped in it too. What makes them different, what makes you different, is how you deal with it when you step into it. How you deal with it when it happens. I was speaking with a gentleman, a group of individuals yesterday. And the thing is understanding, at the end of the day, regardless of whether it's good or regardless whether it's bad, you did it too. But understand that there's a group of people that have allowed themselves to even get to the point to where stepping in that it is actually bigger than the rest. I'm gonna say that again, right? Because you put yourself in place, right, to do more than the average, so you'll have more. It tends to happen. The more it tends to happen, right? So the thing is, you got to realize how dope you are to even be in that situation first. How dope you are to even be in that situation first. We were talking about businesses, right? Being able to, being blessed, right? And understanding significance of how many people that actually say they want to start a business and how many people that actually do. And how many people that actually start a business and how many people actually push through to make sure that that business is successful, and how many people fail at their first venture, and how many people do it again, right? It keeps getting smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. The reason why I bring that to everyone's attention is that, once again, it's how you deal with stepping in it that matters.
And I love it how you broke it down, like how you step into it. Have you stepped into it? Two. That two means also.
Yeah.
And then it says blank happens. Here's the thing about that blank. Do you fill that blank in with whatever you want to fill that blank in? If you watch a live, what's your blank that happened? Was it something great? Was it something bad? What's your blank?
Yeah.
But blank happens. And for you, blank can be something amazing, or blank can be something terrible. But know that it happens. You're not the only one, and it happens. It happens to more than not. So the question is how do you deal with it when it happens? Because oftentimes we run into people, LeVar, that deals with bad news the same way they deal with good news. They don't handle it well because some people are afraid of success. You know what I'm saying? Some people are literally afraid of success. Like what happens is, look, literally, I was working on something earlier today, and the question came up: what happens when you reach your dreams? When the dream job you said you wanted, you get it. When the dream car you said you wanted, you have it. When the dream house you said you wanted to live in, you buy it. What happens then? Because if you cease to dream, you cease to exist. So my question is what happens when it happens? When blank happens, when you reach those goals.
Man, look, I got a t-shirt series that I'm getting ready to push, and I'm super excited about it. It's the I Decided To series that I'm going to push out. And what it is I decided to, right? And it has a different set of things: hate, cry, different things. But if you say I decided to cry with a line through it, and under it says fly. Right? See, because everything that we go through, we decide how we deal with it. It's your decision. It's your decision. It's your decision to get off track because you stepped in it. It's your decision. Right? Yeah, things happen, life happens. But how do you deal with those things when they come by? Because here's the thing. You also decided to step into wealth. Right? You also have decided to step into riches, step into love, step into happiness. You also made a decision to do that. It happens. Have you stepped into love? Have you stepped into wealth? Have you stepped into riches? Two, what did you do when that happened? Right? Because truthfully, some people step into love, right? And they do wrong by that. So you can flip that in so many different ways, right? You have a decision how to deal with it. Have you stepped in it? Have you stepped into the ish? Have you stepped into the love? Go ahead, T. And I already know something rolling in your head, but
that's what I'm sitting here thinking about. I keep hearing step into it. And the only thing I can think of, and I know you could appreciate this because we both grew up playing baseball, right? When you used to have a pitcher that pitched amazing, curveballs, pitch, sliders, fastballs, don't matter what it was, your coach always said to do what to the pitch?
Step into the swing.
Step into it. Because you can't hit it out the park if you don't step into it. If you fall back out of the batting box, if you fall out of the batter box, you're not going to get a good hit. You're going to probably miss the ball. You're going to strike out. There's a lot of people falling back in life instead of stepping into it. I don't care what it is. If it's an obstacle, step into it. If it's a hurdle, step into it. Like, you can't jump a hurdle stepping backwards.
That's right. That's
you know what I'm saying? You can't get over an obstacle going backwards.
That's right.
You got to step into it. You want to climb those stairs? Guess what? Step into it.
Step into it.
Hey, look, even if you found the elevator from where you are to success, guess what you got to do?
Step into it.
You got to step into
Come
it.
on now.
Even if you found the elevator, you got to step into it. And that's
right
what
now,
it is.
boy.
Have you stepped into it also?
Man, no matter what. I love the fact. I love how you just added that. I love how you just added that. Because when you think about that, in order to get to that top floor, you have to step into something, right? I don't care if you have to step into the stairwell to walk up. Either way, you got to step into it, right? You have to make a decision to move, right? You have to make a decision to move. Now, it's interesting that you brought up the elevator, because we're gonna stay there just for a quick moment. Do you guys not realize that there's some people that refuse to get on elevators? That's actually some people that refuse to get on elevators.
Yep.
And for those people who refuse to get on elevators, they will never go to the top of that building. They will never go to the top. It don't matter what's at the top of that building. They will never be there. That's how we got to understand in life. There's some people that will step into their greatness. You've heard that before. Step into your greatness. You got to step into it. You have to make a decision to move on it, right? Have you stepped into your greatness? Have you stepped into that person that you need to be in order to get to where you need to go? Have you stepped into that? When things happen, do you step into it and push through, or do you go the other direction? Do you go the other direction and you run away from those things, run away from those things that are meant to make you grow? How many people do you know? For everybody who get a chance to see this, put a 7 in the chat if you've seen people run away from those things that we know were meant to help them grow. People do it all the time, right? So you got to make sure that you step in, step through, and go through, period.
Yeah.
No matter what, because you understand why you're doing it, right? You can't get caught off guard, or you can't get caught in a bad scenario because things are going bad in your life. Now you're stuck there. Have you ever met T. Hutton? Have you ever talked to people that are still complaining about stuff that didn't happen sometimes 5, 10, 15, and 20 years ago? And what is it doing for them in their life?
It's interesting because a lot of times people get into what we call stuck points. And in life coaching, you talk to people who are dealing with stuck points, who are stuck somewhere about something. And oftentimes they're stuck about things that people did to them that they're not able to get past themselves. Mm-hmm. But dealing with those stuck points, you have to begin to step into change.
Yep.
Because you have to shift what you think, what you believe, and what you know. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't shift or change your perspective, if you don't step into something new, then you will remain there the remainder of your life. I like to ask people, what's your dream vacation? Like, where do you really want to go? If you could go, if money wasn't an object, we like to say that, LeVar, if money wasn't an object, where would you go? What would you buy? What would you do? All these things require you to step into something. Mm-hmm. All of them. If you want to go on a dream vacation, you're probably going to have to step onto a plane. Let's just be honest.
Yeah. Yeah.
You want that new house, you're going to have to step into that office and buy that house. You got to step into either a builder's office, step into a salesman office, something. You're going to have to buy that car. You got to step into the dealership. Mm-hmm. You're going to have to step into something. And the reason why we say,
how you doing? How you doing? Go ahead, big man.
The reason why we say this and why it's so important is that we want you to understand that it's your decision. It's your choice.
Yeah.
See, choice is what separates those who say they want something and who actually want something. Because oftentimes a lot of people say they want it, but their choices don't show that. LeVar said he's going to launch this t-shirt series called I Decided. Mm-hmm. Hey, look, let me tell you something. In just that phrase right there, I decide is nice, but when you put that D on the end of it,
done.
Boy, it's powerful.
It's powerful.
That's powerful. That D is a past tense. That means it's already done.
Come on. And that's what a lot of people fail to realize. Listen, you got to already. I was talking to somebody last night, and it was interesting, but something came to my heart. Listen, so many people are trying to be something that they already are. Some people are trying to be something that they already are. You already dope. You already have what it takes to go to where you need to go. You just don't believe you had the power to be able to go. You already have the power to decide to be great. You just haven't made the decision. You already have the power to go, power to be around only the right types of individuals that's going to push you to get to where you need to go. You the one that haven't decided that I'm doing this at all costs to be around the right types of people. You already have the power. Why won't you use it? Why won't you use it? We have the power, but what we tend to use our power for are for those things that will really hurt us, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Right? We will decide to get stuck in our emotions. We will decide to get irritated and be mad at people forever before we make a real decision to be great.
When you said power, I was listening to Eric Thomas earlier today because, of course, you know, we still listen to other speakers, of course. And Eric Thomas was talking about power and having power. And the message is called Charge. If you hadn't heard it, definitely listen to it. Mm-hmm. But he was talking about power, and he was saying, you know, you have, you know, your AAA battery. Then you got your car battery. And then you got, like, you know, your neighborhood, you know, saying power sources. And it's just different levels of power. And the questionable part about it is, and what we're telling you is, you know, decide what you give that AAA power to versus what you're going to give that vehicle power to, or what you're going to give that neighborhood power to in your life. Because, see, you can give AAA power to negativity, and it ain't going to be as bad as you give it neighborhood power, that all power that takes over your world, your environment. But like LeVar saying, you have to choose where this power is going. Or are you going to step into your greatness, or are you going to power your pity? You're going to power your self-pity. Or are you going to use the power inside of you to motivate somebody else to change the world? Or are you just going to allow your power to just dissipate and do nothing? Because here's the thing. A battery has a shelf life. LeVar, if you don't use that battery, the power just drain out. It'll sit there on the shelf and go bad.
No, man. You can't. You got to say that one more time, bro.
If you don't use that battery, the power that's within you, just like that battery sitting on the shelf, it'll drain out. It'll go bad sitting there on the shelf. What was meant for greatness, what was meant to be used for something, will go wasted. Are you wasting away?
Are you wasting away? Listen, that I don't care what it is that you got going on right now, because I know there's a lot of people that are on my team that are going to get a chance to see this. I need you guys to understand this, that your decision to be great, your decision to give effort, your decision to help people, your decision is what matters more than anything else. Your decision, how you deal with the things that happen in your life, is the turning point. Your decision is the turning point, not just the action. Because you have to decide to act. There has to be a decision that comes first before you get to where you need to go. You have to decide to win.
Hey,
then you put the action in. Huh?
Do me a favor. I know we're going to have somebody go back and rewatch this. I just want you to say that again. The decision is the turning point. Just to say this, just roll with that one more time, because I don't know if they got it when you said it the first time. I don't know if they understand how impactful that is, like how that can truly change their lives. Like the fact of the matter that the decision is where it changes at. It's not when you can actually see the change, it's when you decide. Bro, that's amazing.
Because you got to decide to move no matter how much it hurt. You got to decide to put in the work no matter how much work you got to put in. You have to make that decision, because regardless of what you decide, you're making a decision.
When Whether you decide to move or you decide not to move, you're
Bruh.
still doing something.
Regardless of whether you decide to move, you're making a decision because you're deciding not to. If you decide not, if you don't decide to be great, you decide not to be great.
Hey,
if you
LeVar,
don't decide to be above average, you're deciding to be average.
but hold on, LeVar. Let me ask you this, because I had to give my devil advocate in one time. So you push the button, right? And maybe so you got off on the wrong flow. You was headed to the top, and you got off on the wrong flow. For some reason, you was headed to flow 21, and you got off on flow 3. Don't know how you messed it up, but you got off on flow 3.
Okay.
And you come and you push the button on the elevator because you don't want to take the stairs. That's a whole lot of work, right?
Yeah.
And the elevator shows up, and the elevator is 3/4 of the way full, right? Here's where you make a decision. Do you get on the elevator or do you wait for the next elevator? Because I think oftentimes people are saying, y'all go ahead, I'll wait on the next one. Never knowing that it's not a next elevator coming. Because we assume there's another elevator coming. So we're not deciding to reach our goals because we're deciding that we'll wait.
And you know what? Ooh, I got something for you. A lot of people don't get on that elevator because they don't want to be uncomfortable because it's too packed. They think it's too packed.
Yep.
They don't want to be uncomfortable. Or, watch this. A lot of people don't get on that elevator because they think other people don't think they should get on the elevator because they think the other people think it's already too packed.
Oh, let me do you one better. I'm going to go a step further with this elevator ideology.
Come on, let's go.
On the elevator, and no matter where you go in America, any other part of the world, the bottom floors are the most crowded. If you stay on the elevator long enough, it will empty out. You may start off uncomfortable because everybody else is on the elevator, but everybody's not going to the top floor. That's a fact.
Yes, sir.
Only the very few are going to the top floor. Even if they're going to visit, it ain't many going to visit the top floor.
Yes, sir. Yeah, that's a whole show.
That's a whole story by itself.
That's a whole show in itself right there. Because not everybody's going to the top. Not everybody's going to go. Some people are going to leave you along the way. Right? Yeah. It's going and really, it's funny. It's funny when we really start looking at this thing. You got people that start businesses and they get upset because people won't follow them. They get upset because their family and friends are not going in the same direction as them. I don't know how this even went this direction, but this is important. What we fail to realize is that at the end of the day, everybody ain't meant to go in the same road. Everybody ain't meant to go all the way up to the top anyway. Some people are meant to go halfway. Boy. Some people are meant to go halfway. See, when you start dealing with the matters of the heart, let's talk about it. You start dealing with the matters of the heart, because I'm going to tell you, when success is on the heart, man, it's hard to be average. When success is on the heart, it's hard. It's hard to do what everybody else is doing. It's hard not to take certain steps. It's hard not to move, man. You're going to be uncomfortable all the way through life because you were meant for more. You were meant for more. So we got to make sure that we're always understanding that what's for us may not be for everybody else. So that's a whole nother story in itself. So let me go and do this, and we're gonna let Coach T. Hutton, the motivator, end us out. See, understand this. At the end of the day, we're talking about have you stepped in it, right? Regardless of whether we're talking about to the left or the right, have you stepped in ish or have you stepped into your greatness, right? Have you stepped into problems, situations, right? Have you stepped into your best life? Either way, you got to make a decision. Either way, you have to make a decision. It's up to you to move. It's up to you to decide what to do with those things. Either way, there's going to be a cause and effect, no matter how we want to look at it. Either way, it's going to be a cause and effect. Because if we decide to step into our greatness, then there's going to be a trickle down effect that's going to happen in your life. Things are going to start maneuvering. Good and bad things are going to happen on both sides. Good and bad things, weird things, situations are going to happen on both sides, right? But I'm going to tell you this. You have to make a decision. My decision is, no matter where the good and bad things happen, I won't mind it happen on the successful side. I won't mind it happen on the legendary side. I won't mind it happen on the winning side, the wealthy side, the richest side. I won't mind it happen on the dreams, me living the life of my dreams side. I'd rather those things happen while I'm on the way to that than me allow myself to stay in an average lane and things continue to go down from there.
Yeah.
T. Hutton, close it out, brother.
Have you stepped into it too? The association is, the fact is you stepped into something. You can not step into something, or you can step into something. The choice is yours. Mm-hmm. It happens. You know, I wanted to use, to close out my segment today, I wanted to use The Rock's voice. I wanted to have the people hear it. If you smell, like, because did you smell what you stepped into? Was it or did you step into something that was worth stepping into? It was beautiful. It was the aroma just it captivated you and pulled you in. You stepped into your greatness, your dreams, your goals. Can you smell what you stepped into? Check your shoes. Because sometimes you step into some ish. But other times you step into your purpose. You step into your dreams. You step into tomorrow with a smile on your face, knowing that you did everything you could today to have the life that you want to live tomorrow. And that's all we're asking you to do here at Grow, Live, Dream. Step into your dreams. Step into the life that you want to live. Step into your growth. It's all about you. In order to become the best you possible, you must start today. The only time that matters is now. Let's get started. Step into your greatness. Have a great one.